So, we are going to talk tuning into your frequency. This episode, I'm picking back up from when I was discussing sleep and how, in this human experience, we are only here having the human experience for about 2/3 of the time. And then, as a natural part of our being, we're in our cosmic or supernatural or sleep state for the other third of our time here. If it is difficult for you to clear your mind during meditation, asking questions and setting intentions before you go to sleep is one way of connecting to your higher cosmic intelligence. If clear your mind medication is difficult for you, another talent that can be used is being able to connect to your frequency. I don't know if I've always noticed this, but if not always, I know I've realized this at least for some decades now. There's no such thing as silence. There is quiet, but not silence. The reason why there is no such thing as silence in this three-dimensional experience is because everything vibrates and vibrations create sound. With that being said, let us use this as another way to meditate and come into awareness. I believe that everyone has a frequency and that many of you have the ability to tap into that frequency. Your frequency holds knowledge and information that is available to you, like a knowledge and information highway that is full of potential. And if you have access onto that highway, you can bring forth any of that knowledge that you receive along your travels. You just have to learn how to be in that receiving mode to receive it. I'm not certain that everyone hears a different frequency, but if I'm understanding my integration correctly, there is more than one type of frequency, which means that we are not all on the same frequency, but many of us are, and therefore have access to the same information. I'm going to delve right into how I did this and how you may be able to do it also. Let's say you would like to meditate. You sit in a stillness to meditate. And when you do this, make sure you are in a space and time with very little outside or worldly interference if possible. I hear my frequency constantly, but because you are in the stage of searching for it, nighttime may be the best time for you to try and tune yourself to it. Try and settle in a place where there's no hum from a refrigerator, air conditioner, or fan. Little to no traffic from the street or nearby roadway. No whirling from electronic devices. And if possible, no voices in the background of the atmosphere from the people around you. You want to eliminate the distractions as much as possible, especially the constant steady noises, because your frequency will more than likely be steady and constant. But from what my son describes, it could have more of a wave like pattern. I say more than likely because I don't know if most are like mine, which is steady and constant. Close to that of a medium pitched hum from an electronic dial. I had an experience a couple of years ago where I was hearing a dial trying to tune into a certain frequency or channel, similar to the one in my intro. Once you are able to pick up on your frequency, you will be able to differentiate it from that of your plugged in electrical devices or hum of an appliance or fan in the other room. So once you are in your stillness, close your eyes and take a deep, quiet breath, excuse me. Take several of them. Listen for the quietness. In that quietness, realize what you do not hear. Then focus on what you do hear. Mentally push to the side all of that which is mechanical and native to the environment around you. And that which is left over, somewhere in the in between, lies your frequency. Just to show you how easy it can be, the other night I was lying with my 11-year-old in what was the beginnings of a storm. It was late at night. The wind was not yet blowing, the rain had not yet started. It was a very still night. You could hear the high pitched crackling of thunder, and it was very powerful. But in between crackles, it was eerily quiet. I began to speak to my son the fundamentals of quiet versus silence. Once he understood that, I had him to close his eyes and listen to that eerie quietness between each outburst of thunder. And then I asked him what he heard. He described it as a pitch that was like a wave going high, then low, going high, then low. He said it sounded like it was coming from his inside, not from the outside environment. He then proceeded to tell me that he hears this all the time. In that moment, we agreed that this is what we will consider his frequency. And this is what he will focus on from now on when he meditates. When the moment came, it was truly the perfect storm because the universe gave us the calm before the storm for my son to experience one of the true miracles of who we are. Only moments after our conversation, the wind began to howl and the rain came pouring down. Like my son, some of you may not get it right away. Others may take weeks or months. Some of you may never find it. If you do not find it, that is okay. This just may not be your talent. Just like we are not all astral projectors, but many have the ability and have been able to easily bring astral projection into fruition. Again, everyone's journey is different and everyone comes here with different talents and abilities. Just as I never had the talent to do the clear your mind meditations. I believe I came into this realization of there is quiet, but no such thing as silence in my later childhood years, maybe teenage years. I don't quite remember exactly. But because I didn't have direct guidance at that time, I was not aware that what I was hearing was my frequency. I didn't learn that that's what it was until a few months ago when it was confirmed by my integration. It has dialed in on my left side, and it started off with what felt like it was in the distance and from inside my head. Kind of how we speak about seeing through the mind's eye. It is in the mind's ear. Just recently, it sounds closer and a little stronger, and sometimes it also pans in on my right side now. When it does that, it's only temporary and it's like in stereo. But it's not so overwhelming as to interrupt my day to day life. Most of the time, I don't pay it any attention. I can always tune in just a matter of seconds. I focus on it to tune in, then I refocus on something else when I want to tune out. So for me, it's all about where I place my focus, but it's always there. My integration tells me that because of my ability to stay tuned into my frequency or signal, this has helped me to be open and available when it was time for them to integrate with me. I consider the frequency to be the natural tones of the earth's vibration, something that was created with us and for us to tap into as one of the many tools that we have been given to allow us to perform at our fullest potential. Something to help us stay connected to and aware of more than just that of our five senses. So many humans have come into their awakening process. It is exciting to see this. Some of you will also receive your integration or direct helpers. This is because we are in a time where it is needed for what's next in humanity's journey as a whole. There is a metaphoric beast that needs to be brought down, and many of us are chosen ones who have come here specifically to assist with that process. Again, I will say, be careful with what you ask for, because once you are on your journey through your awakening, there may be no turning back. For many of us, it has not been easy. This is the road less traveled. I know this because I have been on the path of consciousness for 30 plus years. But if you choose to continue on your journey, please like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to be notified of when I post. I know that many people like regular schedules, but I only post when I have something to say or share. Sometimes I am pressed by my integration to post more frequently, but I also have obligations of being a mother first. Thank you for your understanding. And with this being said, this concludes today's Chronicles of a New Black Woman by Dar-Luz. Until next time, stay in practice finding your frequency, and remember that the universe begins with you and I.